The purpose of this video is to describe the inventory count feature within HeiferTracker, a feature within PCDART. HeiferTracker is one of the tracker series, and like all trackers, it's available from the analysis menu within PCDART. The basics of using HeiferTracker is explained in another video, but as a quick review, once HeiferTracker is opened, a date range needs to be selected, and in this case I'll choose 12 months prior to last test day, and I'll leave my voluntary wait period set at 400 days, but since I'm looking at inventories, the voluntary wait period is not applicable. Inventories are only available when viewing the monthly table option, so I'll leave that set on monthly table, and I'll select the inventory items by clicking on the first item, holding the shift key down, and clicking the last item and hitting the select button. Now my table is only going to show inventory levels, and I'm not going to change any of my settings because I want to look at all heifers and don't want to exclude any. So now by hitting the preview button, inventory counts are presented month by month. On this dairy, on January 31st of 2009, their total heifer inventory was 2,072 heifers. So the inventories listed for each month are relative to the last day of the month. So for February 28th of 2009, the total heifer inventory was 2,081. And you can see they're displayed month by month. Again, the date range that I put in listed at the bottom here is January 31st. 2009 to January 31st of 2010. If the last month is not the last day of the month, the inventory counts will be relative to the last date listed in the date range. The next item shows the percent of milking herd. So this herd, 2,072 heifers on January 31st of 2009, represented 92% of milking animals. Again, this doesn't include dry cows, 92% of milking animals. So you can see relative changes throughout the year for this herd in heifer herd relative to milking herd numbers. The next item is a count of total pregnant heifers. And any of the cells within HeiferTracker, a user can select that cell and generate a list of those heifers. So by clicking on the January 2009 cell for pregnant heifers, this list contains all 713 of the pregnant heifers. Now from that list, just like Activity Tracker, I can hit the Excel button and download or move this right to Excel. So there's a list of heifers within Excel. Or I can hit the cow icon right here, same as the cow icon that you normally use to go to the cow page, except now it's going to go to a heifer page, and all those heifers are listed right there to view if you'd like to view. Okay, and then any of these columns can be sorted by clicking on the top item in the column, and what's listed here are things like first preg date, first fresh date, the event date, that's relative to when that animal got pregnant, her birth date, and her barn name and index number. And then, of course, the entire table itself, by hitting the Excel button, will automatically dump it to an Excel spreadsheet in the same manner as the heifer list. Again, same functionality as Activity Tracker. So there are 713 total pregnant heifers as of January 31st, 731 heifers between 0 and 6 months of age, 502 heifers between 7 and 12 months, 503 between 13 and 18 months, and 323 between 19 and 24. And on January 31st of 2009, they had 13 heifers older than 25 months. Okay, so again, this is simply displaying inventory counts, and the important thing to know is that the counts are relative to the last day of each month, unless the last month in the date range does not happen to be on the last day of the month. That would be the last day in the date range.